The Japan National Stadium buzzed with anticipation on September 21st, 2025. The city's neon lights shimmered in the distance, but all eyes were drawn to the glowing arena where history was about to unfold. The air was electric, filled with excitement and nerves, as fans from around the world gathered for a night they would never forget. 8 of the world's fastest women lined up for the 800m final at the World Athletics Championships. Each athlete carried her own story, her own dreams, and the hopes of her nation. The tension was almost tangible as the finalists were introduced, their faces a mix of focus and determination. The crowd's energy was palpable, every eye fixed on the track. Cheers and chants echoed through the stadium, uniting thousands of strangers in a single shared moment of anticipation. Cameras flashed, capturing the raw emotion of the spectators as they waited for the race to begin. Keely Hodgkinson, Olympic champion, stood as the favorite, flanked by Kenya's formidable trio, including defending champ Mary Moraa. The pressure was immense, but these women were no strangers to the spotlight. Each competitor eyed the finish line, knowing that only one would claim the ultimate prize. Among them was Lilian Odira, a 26-year-old mother of 2, a relative unknown on this stage. Her journey to Tokyo had been anything but easy, balancing family life with grueling training sessions. Tonight she stood shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, ready to prove she belonged. The gun fired, and the race began, a test of speed, strategy, and heart. The athletes exploded off the blocks, each stride fueled by years of sacrifice and relentless pursuit of greatness. In just 2 minutes, a new champion would emerge, and history would be rewritten. Every second counted, every move was critical, as the runners pushed themselves to the absolute limit. This was more than a race. It was the night the impossible became reality. For the athletes, the fans, and the city of Tokyo, it was a moment that would live on forever in the hearts of all who witnessed it. Before Tokyo, Lilian Odira was an underdog, her name barely known outside Kenya. She was not the favorite, nor the athlete the world expected to see on the podium. Yet, in the heart of Nairobi, her story was already inspiring those who knew her grit and quiet determination. At 26, she balanced motherhood and elite training, forging resilience few could match. Each morning began before sunrise, juggling the demands of raising 2 young sons with the relentless pursuit of her athletic dreams. Her days were long, her sacrifices many, but her resolve never wavered. Her journey was steady, not spectacular. A semi-finalist in Paris 2024, now making her World Championships debut. She had never been the headline, but her progress was undeniable, marked by small victories and hard-earned improvements. Coached by Jacinta Murigura, she arrived in Tokyo with a personal best of 1-56.52. Fast, but not world-beating. Together, they focused on the details, sharpening her speed and mental strength, knowing that every second counted on the world stage. Odira's motivation was her family. Every stride was for her sons. Their laughter and encouragement fueled her, reminding her why she pushed through exhaustion and doubt. She faced Olympic medalists and world champions, but saw only opportunity. The pressure was immense, but she embraced it, determined to prove she belonged among the best. Experts overlooked her, but Odira's heart and determination set her apart. She listened to her own inner voice, blocking out the noise of critics and doubters. She was the wild card, the dreamer who refused to be denied. Every race was a chance to rewrite her story, to show that dreams are built on courage and persistence. On this night, she was ready to show the world what belief can do. The stadium lights shone down, illuminating not just the track, but the hope she carried within. Sometimes, the biggest dreams come from the quietest contenders, and tonight, Lilian Odira was ready to make her mark. The gunshot unleashed a furious pace. Mary Moraa surged to the front, setting a relentless tempo. Keely Hodgkinson tucked in behind, poised and patient. Odira ran mid-pack, calm and focused, avoiding the early chaos. At 600m, Hodgkinson made her move, overtaking Moraa and opening a gap. Moraa faded, but the race was far from settled. Georgia Hunter-Bell, Hodgkinson's teammate, and Odira began to close in. Odira, still biding her time, shifted gears as the final bend approached. The stage was set for a breathtaking finish. The last 100 meters would decide everything. 3 women, 1 gold. Who would claim it? Hodgkinson led into the home straight, gold seemingly within her grasp. Bell surged alongside, turning the finish into a British duel. But on the outside, Odira unleashed a kick no one expected. She accelerated, closing the gap with astonishing speed. In the final 30 meters, Odira swept past Bell, then lunged past Hodgkinson at the line. She crossed first, arms wide, disbelief and joy on her face. The underdog had triumphed, out-kicking the Olympic champion. In her first World Championships final, Lilian Odira became world champion. It was a finish for the ages, timing, courage, and heart. The stadium erupted. A new legend was born. Odira's joy turned to awe as the clock flashed. 1-54.62, a new championship record. She had shattered a mark that stood for 42 years, set by Jarmila Kratochvilova in 1983. Generations had tried and failed to break it. Odira did it in her first final. Her improvement, nearly 2 seconds, was unprecedented. This was not just a win, but a leap into history. Odira's run redefined what was possible in women's 800m. Her performance was a fusion of speed, strength, and perfect execution. The old record, once thought untouchable, had finally fallen. Odira's triumph was a victory for the sport and for dreamers everywhere. On this night, she became a legend. Odira's gold was the headline, but the podium was a showcase of grit, determination, and sheer willpower. Each athlete had a story that resonated with fans around the world. Georgia Hunter Bell's silver, 1-54.90, was a massive personal best, validating her move from 1,500m. Her transition was not just a change in distance, but a leap of faith that paid off spectacularly. Keely Hodgkinson, after a season of injury, claimed bronze in 1-54.91, her comeback remarkable despite the disappointment. Her journey back to the podium was a testament to her resilience and unyielding spirit. For the first time, 3 women broke 1:55 in a single race, 5 finished under 1:56. This race redefined what was thought possible in women's middle distance running. The depth was historic, the competition fierce. Every athlete on that track pushed themselves to the absolute limit, creating a spectacle of athletic excellence. Each finalist pushed the limits of what was possible. Their performances were not just about winning, but about breaking barriers and setting new standards. Odira, Bell, and Hodgkinson represented 3 powerful stories: surprise, rise, and resilience. Their journeys to the podium were as compelling as the race itself. Their mutual respect and rivalry elevated the event. It was a beautiful display of sportsmanship and competitive spirit. This was more than a race, it was pure sporting theater. The crowd was on the edge of their seats, witnessing history in the making. The bar for women's 800m had been raised forever. This race will be remembered as a turning point, inspiring future generations of athletes. Odira's victory capped a historic sweep for Kenyan women in Tokyo. Kenya claimed gold in every women's distance event, from 800m to the marathon. Legends like Faith Kipyegon and Beatrice Chebet led the charge. Odira's win completed the set. This dominance was built on culture, tradition, and relentless training. Odira's journey, from mother of 2 to world champion, embodied resilience and hope. Her story and Kenya's sweep inspired a new generation. It proved that dreams, hard work, and belief can make history. On this unforgettable night, Kenya and Lilian Odira stood atop the world.